Hi everyone, my name is Sarayu and I'm a sophomore at Braintree High School in Massachusetts, and my topic for my research was the impact of e-cigarette use on seizure frequency in vapers with and without a history of epilepsy. And the reason I chose to do this is because vaping is such a common occurrence in many populations, and in my age level, I'm a high schooler, and it's very prevalent in high school, and some are as young as middle school. So it's important to know the consequences of the actions that they are doing. So the topic area that I'm investigating is the seizure frequency in those who vape, whether they have epilepsy or not. And my research question specifically was, does the use of e-cigarettes increase the occurrence of seizures? And as I mentioned before, the importance is that vaping is such a common occurrence, it's important to see the consequences of it. So some background information. E-cigarettes are a device that mimic the cigarette, and they can often contain harmful chemicals like nicotine, but some other ones too. And some statistics, in the US, 7.7% of students vape, 4.6% are middle school, and 10% high school. And this might even be underrepresented since the CDC got these numbers from students who reported themselves, and some people don't want to report themselves. So this might be a smaller number than there actually is. And some background information on seizures. Seizures can be triggered or spontaneous, and this is when the brain has abrupt / unrestrained outputs of this electrical activity. And epilepsy is a chronic brain disorder which causes the recurrent seizures. And regarding seizures and the vaping, the underlying pathophysiology isn't really understood, but researchers believe that the nicotine modulates the acetylcholine receptors, and this contributes to the release of the excitatory neurotransmitter, which is glutamate. And the nicotine disrupts the normal flow, and the nicotinic acetylcholine receptors are highly expressed in the amygdala, which is an area of the brain known for seizure generation and epileptogenesis. And another statistic about vapes is that one vape is one puff with a vape is 15 times of a cigarette. So you're inhaling a lot more of that harmful chemical. So for my literary review, I used multiple different sources. I got a lot of my articles from PubMed and also Mayo Clinic. These are two of the articles that I used. One of them, the title was Seizures Noted by Responsive Neurostimulation from E-Cigarette Use. This one was talking about a male patient who had longstanding refractory focal unaware seizures, and he was equipped with this RNS device. So an RNS device is a neurostimulation device, and this is implanted in the brain, and it can help diagnose, record, and treat seizures. And once he started vaping, the device provided this objective data that vaping may lead to this increased amount of seizures. And this other article, Seizure and Vaping, a report of 2 cases, it is about a girl. She's 16, and she vapes, and then she is inflicted with a seizure, and this happens 4 times. So those are 2 articles that I used in my research paper. And for my methodology, this was a literature review, so I used multiple different sources, and I used qualitative data. And I came up with this idea after discussing the prevalence of vaping in schools, and then I was researching, and I saw all these articles. And for my results, there's some limitations for this research, but we can assume that vaping seemingly increases the frequency of seizures in those with and without epilepsy. Some of the limitations is that there's simply like less data on this, so we cannot be completely sure. And lastly, my conclusion, with this information, people can be more educated in what they partake on. This is like my contribution. Like, so many people believe that vaping is so much less harmful and it's more healthy than cigarette use, but this kind of like goes against that. And more people can see that vaping isn't all healthy and it's not what they think it is. So I'm giving out this information to other people, and they can actually think about the side effects of what they're partaking in, especially if they're young people, like high schoolers or middle schoolers. They're like very easily like affected by like the branding and all the vaping and peer pressure. So it's important for them to know the actual consequences of their actions. And thank you so much for listening. And then I'll talk about my experience with gifted gabber now. So Dr. Kate and Professor Virgil were amazing professors, and Dr. Kate was extremely knowledgeable about disease modeling, and in the class she talked a lot about the history, and outside of the classes she was able to give me a bunch of resources, and she helped me like learn about like what I was looking for, and she helped me like understand what the sources that I was reading. And Professor Virgil was extremely helpful in how to format my paper and make it read more eloquently, and his guidance greatly helped me write this paper. And then my like reflection on all of this is that Gifted Gabber was an extremely like helpful program, helped me learn the process of writing this research paper, which I found extremely riveting to pour through text and just like write this whole research paper. So I'm really thankful to have this experience and to have this all in high school when most people don't even like people don't usually do this in high school. So it was really helpful to me to have this experience. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for the wonderful words, Sarayu. And I also want you to take on this activism of vaping. This is something that we have started is getting media attention and everything. And I want to share that, I mean, he's also my student. My own son went on TV to promote suicide prevention. So we do help students create their passion project and make it into a bigger way because it's a social cause. So if you're interested in doing that, we would love to help you as a passion project. So everyone, your research, we want you to take it along as a passion project. So this is like an activism or a thing that you have to bring notice. So we will help you create a plan for making that into a passion project. So you can email us or get in touch, and we will do that to get media attention and also to do a march or something against vaping. But yes, and thank you for doing this. And a question from Dr. Kate.
Hi. You did a wonderful job, Sarayu. And I was looking back at my notes too yesterday and today while preparing for all of this, and you were one of the first people who met with me. Nicotine is so addictive, and really, truly, it is something that needs to be understood. The healthy way to do whatever is with vaping. There's just no healthy thing about cigarettes at all. As far as addictive substances, would you say that nicotine is more addictive than, could you give me a couple blanks in there? Like, what would you think it would be more addictive than?
Like something that's more addictive than nicotine, or
if it's less nicotine addictive, just to give us an idea.
Like marijuana.
Okay.
I would say that they're both like pretty, they have their own side effects, but marijuana has been seen to have some more like toxins than nicotine, and marijuana is also something that you can put in e-cigarettes. So that poses like a risk. So pretty much like a lot of the substances that you can put in e-cigarettes can be harmful.
Right.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, nicotine's a tough one to quit too.
Mm-hmm.
And these doses are way higher than cigarettes. And just an observation, if you drive by outside, an Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous meeting, these people have been able to get off of those substances, but they're smoking outside of the place that they're meeting. So, it is one of, other than caffeine, it's probably the second most, and we don't really use caffeine unless of course you're drinking like 8 cups of coffee.
Yeah.
But, yes, but it's still one of those things, and it's accepted by these teenagers, and they just don't understand the consequences. And that's the scary thing. So I really hope that, yes, and you can't get away with smoking weed in class.
No.
But those kids, according to my 7th grade daughter, they have hitting up their sleeves and they're going like this. I mean, it's that addictive. They want to be doing it almost constantly. So, this is definitely one of those things you should get out as a project as well. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.